Hi guys, Dan's the F1 here. How are we all doing? So welcome back to F1 Manager with my team ZRT Autosport. Gonna take you through my first race. So we're just gonna wait for the days to pass here. Okay, so we are going to have a look at what's been going on. Quick update as to what the track is doing and what the chance of rain is. So we've got a 40% chance of rain. It tells us that KARUD are racing have the best gearbox, so they're going to go well because they've got good acceleration, but we have good tyre wear, so they're saying that we should be able to make our tyres last. The design centre, so obviously it's no secret that we need to improve the design centre so we can obviously upgrade more of our parts. But we're in the middle of upgrading our headquarters, which should help us generally sort of move forward anyway. Okay, board happiness is fine. Okay, so going through. Sponsors, can't change that yet. Looking at the weather for the practice, so it's going to be sunny, so that should allow us to get some good information when we do that. Okay, so going to go back in and see what we can do here. Looking at the parts, we can't improve any of the parts because we've already got reliability working, and that's 40 days after the race. So if we add anything optional to that, then it's going to make it too long, so we'll leave that as it is. So it shows you here crucial top speed, crucial acceleration, and crucial for high speed corners. And then for sponsors, I think we're just going to play it safe and go for the 75,000, because I don't think we're going to get 6th, and I don't think we're definitely not going to get 1st. So let's just have a look at the parts. Rear wing is a spec part and front wing is a spec part, and I remember from my first season that you actually get the chance to vote for these, so that essentially drives down the cost of what we're doing here. And then you can see where our reliability is for the percentages, and obviously purple is Sergio Valdez and the orange is Ariel Dembele. So yeah, I think we're going to start off the season, you know, obviously with the parts not being up to standard reliability wise, and I remember that I've got one of the people working on our brakes at the moment. So our brakes standard of reliability will go up once that's finished, but it's going to take the best part of over a month to get that sorted. From what it says on the you know, kind of stretched out time scale. So we're going to go into practice, guys, and then we're going to see what the drivers are feeling in terms of the setup. So going through, waiting for this to come up with all of our options for tyres. Here we go. So we're going to car setup, and we'll try and sort of give them a start off balance to go through. They give you an idea obviously of whereabouts they want them. It's not always close to the white needle that they want their handling, so you just kind of have to have a guess, and then once they've done their first round of laps, then they give you feedback, and then you can tweak it from there. So sometimes you'll nail the setup and sometimes you won't, in terms of what the feedback drivers give you. I think the better the driver, then you know, the easier it is to get the setup nailed on. But obviously I am still learning as to what is better here and there. So hopefully if we can manage to get closer on setups, that would be handy. but sometimes you just don't manage to nail the setup if the car obviously isn't good enough anyway. So we'll have a go and see if we can get Sergio happy, and then once we've done all the downforce settings, we'll go to tyre choice, and we're gonna go, I think first of all we'll run the super soft. Confirm that one, and then we'll have a look at Dembele. So they normally show you on the feedback where you've got the faces there, whether they're happy or unhappy, or really happy. You'll get an idea once we've done this first session as we go round. And then it will come up when they're going around what they think of the setup. So you can see that the drivers are completely different in terms of their balance and how they want the car. But I kind of go for something similar in terms of gear ratios, with it being the fast acceleration, track and speed being important. We're looking at going long first, and we're going to start her on the super soft tyres as well. So once we've done that, I've seen this new screen about weight stripping, but obviously you lose reliability and you can gain performance. Don't really think we're in a position to play with that, especially being the first race of the season. As I mentioned before, reliability is pretty important, and I would imagine that there's going to be a few drivers in the first race that are going to struggle with reliability, so if we can take advantage of that, then we will. But I don't want to strip any reliability down before we even start, and I would imagine there might be a chance to take a penalty if you do that. So we're going to send them both out now, just choose their stints. We'll just go with 4 laps to begin with. Tyres are already on. Okay, so we can send Valdez out. Okay, Valdez is gone. Now to Dembele. Same again, 4 laps. Same tyre, get the information on that tyre. So the more you go around on that particular tyre, the more options you get given for the race. So I normally switch it up between what compounds you've got. So obviously you want to have an understanding of both tyres. Again, I think the better the driver, and depending on their personality traits, obviously you can see the personality trait pop up there. Then if you've got one that, you know, obviously means that he's good on his tyres, it means he learns the tyres quicker. So I think we have actually got a couple of traits that are going to be unlocked from their partnerships with their mechanics, and I think that's after a certain amount of time, so that should be more than handy when that comes in. See which traits they unlock, because they're normally quite different from driver to driver. Okay, so here we go. Feels like I've got just the right area set up, thanks guys. But it does change, and obviously you can change the strategy in terms of how far we go and how much we push on driving style and engine modes, but they also mean that the reliability of the parts come down depending on how hard you push. So yeah, you've got to kind of manage that as well during the race. So you can see the setup knowledge coming down on the bottom part there, and obviously it's only low at the moment. I'm just going into the couple of laps. Obviously we're at the the top of the leaderboard at the moment, being 4th and 5th, but I would imagine we'll probably go down once the more competitive cars come out. Now we both are on medium. We're getting a message from Dembele saying there's too much roll in the car, so it means the suspension's probably too soft, so we need to stiffen up the suspension. Dembele doesn't really say anything in terms of I'm not taking any team orders from you, but Valdez seems to like saying that a lot. Doesn't really sort of take effect, I guess, in this, because he's just going round and round at the moment, not trying to give him any team orders. Obviously, if you're in a race, you can try and give them team orders to let each other past. You can see our fuel levels and tyre wear in the bottom left and the bottom right of the screen now. So should get another lap out of these two, and then we'll have to pit in and see what the situation is in terms of how happy they are with the first try on the setup. We're getting a lot of responses from Dembele. I'm not getting enough response out of the corners, so it might be a bit of downforce. Time wise, we're 11th and 12th at the moment on the super soft. We're not particularly pushing at the moment, and there you go. So if you're running, we've unlocked level 2 super soft tyres and race trim level 2. So as I said, the more you manage to run, the more you manage to unlock. So hopefully we've got some added bonuses to add on for the race. Okay, so we're both in now. We've got downforce good, handling good, and speed balance poor for Valdez, and for Dembele, she doesn't seem very happy, but we'll have a look at Valdez first. So we need to look at the speed balance. Going to tweak the suspension, going to tweak the gearing, because obviously it wants a bit more speed, and then we're going to go longer on the stints to try and get a bit more information and feedback from the driver. We'll put up to 6 laps, probably should have done 6 laps originally really, to just try and stay out there as long as we can. So we'll learn that for the next session and go out with 6 lap stints. So I'm gonna leave that as it is now and send him back out, not waste any more time. Wait for the changes to be made and he'll be going out. So Dembele is not very content at all. She's okay with the understeer. So again, so that's it. We need to really stiffen up the suspension, or yeah, we'll stiffen it up. Again, you can see it's not right close to the white needle. It can be either way. And we're going to go 6 laps again, and hopefully that managed to sort out the balance with her. But we're going to go onto the other tyre now and try and get some knowledge for that tyre. So then we've got, we can go either way in the race. We're going to make them go, try and make them go a bit quicker now, just to obviously the press report on you in terms of your positions in practice, etc. So we'll try and get somewhere decent, maybe in the top 10 would be nice, and then we don't get slated. I've got a feeling that Valdez is gonna be the driver out of these two that performs well this weekend, considering that he's not been complaining about the balance as much as Dembele. So we've got plenty of fuel this time. So we're going to put the engine mode up and driving style up on both of them and get them to attack for the next couple of laps and see if we can get some actually good positions. Let's wait and see who finishes the quicker of the two drivers, and it will give us an idea of where we're going to be perhaps for the weekend and what we should aim for. Not long left in the session now, 2 minutes 28 going down. So Dembele says the handling is much better, which is obviously I'm not surprised. And now we've unlocked race trim level 3. so that's good for added extra performance if we decide to put that on when we look at it before we go in the race. And Belly's currently sitting 12th, and Valdez is now up to 6th. Well done, Valdez. Again, confirming my idea that he will be the driver that we kind of expect to do a bit better in this race. So Dembele says the speed balance has got worse, so we've tweaked something and she doesn't like it. But both this setup knowledge is high now. We really need to work on in other races, making sure that we get the most out of all these practice sessions, depending on what the weather's like. We need to be filling out these bars completely to get as many added bonuses unlocked as possible. So it looks like Dembele's getting held up a little bit here. We'll see where Valdez ends up. Maybe he'll end up a little bit further up. He's about to finish, so will he actually improve on his time? Okay, Dembele says he's loving the handling. Okay, we get that, but like obviously you're not happy with the speed. Okay, so Valdez is actually finished in 6th and he's on his in lap, and Dembele is now up to 8th. Okay, Valdez is giving some feedback, more acceleration. So he's fairly happy, but he just wants a little bit more acceleration. We can do that. And now we're going to wait for them to come in the pits. Right. So now we've finished the practice, we'll be going into the race. 6th and 8th is not bad, and we're only half a second off the pace, ultimate pace. If I remember rightly, it doesn't actually give you a qualifying, and it goes in a random order, maybe alphabetical order. So see, the press is saying, there we go, nice practice session for ZRT Autosport there. They did better than he expected. And they're saying about other teams, and our driver obviously is quite happy. He says can't wait for the rest of the weekend, good practice. That's what we want to hear. And now we've got a total flip on the setup because we've got wet weather. Not really what I wanted. Okay, what have we got? Here we go. In terms of adding the practice knowledge, we can put race trim on, which I would have thought would be the best bet because we've got 15% performance increase, so that'll be one of them. And then there's a level 1 soft tyres, which I think we'll be running later, so we might as well go with that. We've got soft tyres +5, super soft, so soft. Let's have a look what we've got for the same, and then she's got medium tyres, so we will go for the other one on her when we put the other trait on. Just trying to remember obviously what tyres that you've given the extra performance to, and if you get a chance to remember to put them on those tyres during the race. I'll probably forget, but as long as we get the 15% extra performance for the race, that's quite decent. I can't remember what you actually get if you get the full knowledge. I would imagine maybe it's a little bit more, so still unhappy with the top speed on both of them. And here we go, starting second with Valdez. So we're starting quite far up the grid with Valdez. We'll see if we can tweak it a little bit here and really get in the in the zone. You can see the needles are well far apart now, and not within the green where you kind of say, but then when you go into the practice it goes the opposite way, so it's not always right. So tweaking the downforce etc for Valdez, but it's not drastically bad. Obviously the speed is bad, he's saying, and optimum balance is 72%, but we need to be getting closer to 100 really. It's giving us wet tyres, so I guess we should start on wet tyres. We won't deviate from the suggested on that one. we're fully fueled for the amount of fuel we can have in our tank, which is 8 laps out of 18. I would imagine there's going to be a couple of stops at most, being that it's raining, so the track is bound to dry out. So we're just checking and making sure that everything's on, and changing any little set tweaks that we think that we can put on to Dembele. We're gonna have to see how they both go in the race. Again, I think that Valdez is going to be the better option in terms of trying to get a result here. We're gonna push at the start for driving style. We're gonna go just for the start, just to see if they can make up any positions. I'm not gonna go mega aggressive. Okay, so we're second on the grid. Here we go. 5 lights, guys, coming up, and we are go. Okay, so Valdez is into the lead of the race now. Good start from Valdez. Dembele's up a position. We're not obviously going to push completely because obviously it wears the parts down, your fuel and your tyres. But for the first kind of lap, I think we will see if we manage to get any kind of a gap here. I doubt it. Looks like we're already being pushed by second. Dembele's up to 14th, and we're being overtaken for the lead, which doesn't surprise me. Okay, so I think we will go down and we'll go a bit more conservative. We'll go down some leading on the engine moves, because as I said, reliability wise, I think this is going to be the name of the game in this race. There's going to be a lot of other teams that are going to be struggling with reliability as well. So Dembele is dropping down now. So as confirmed, we obviously haven't managed to get a very good setup for Dembele. Dembele is pushing forward and now falling back. It's definitely going to be Valdez that we need to keep an eye on in this race. Still sitting in third now. Tweaking the engine modes and driving style as we go along. Still sitting in third, but being pushed for third with Valdez. Okay, down to fourth now. Still inside the sponsor objective, which is obviously important. It's not for a drastic amount of money here, but if we can fall within that, then obviously, you know, we're still getting income, which is going to push us forward as a team, and hopefully we can get some more upgrades. So Dembele's getting excited because he's obviously just overtaking someone, but you're only 14th, so it's not too much to get excited about, is it really? Valdez sitting alright in fourth, but his tyre wear is going down quite quickly, and obviously the fuel's going down quite quickly as well. Not a bad start though, I'm happy with that so far. So you're going down to neutral and driving style. Don't want to push the tyres too hard in line with the fuel at the moment. Dembele's moving up to 12th, so her pace isn't too bad. Wait, I think it is a she. I keep calling it a she. It might be a he. Okay, so Valdez is coming downfield a little bit now. Obviously, the other people are pushing a little bit harder and trying to conserve a little bit of fuel and see if we can eke out a little bit more on the distance compared to these guys who are really going for it. Valdez complaining we can't overtake at the moment, but obviously we've not got him on the overtake mode. Valdez dropped down. Unfortunately, I can't push too hard in these early stages because, again, I said in terms of reliability, we're quite far down on some of the parts of reliability, and it's bound to affect everyone in this race at some point. And you can look at the conditions of the parts on the car when the drivers tell you. So here we go, Rogers at the bottom there. Rogers is in the pit, so he's already got a problem. That's really early in the race, we're only lap 6. So I know that people are going to encounter problems, and I'd rather be a bit more conservative and know that we're going to pick up on them. So here we go, we're looking at pit stops and in terms of what we're going to do and whether we're going to bring in Dembele. There we go, a couple of parts are looking dodgy, so let's have a look and see what parts we've got that are dodgy. So we'll fill up the fuel as much as we can. Still going to have 12 laps remaining, that doesn't surprise me. Part condition, here we go. Yeah, very, very low. During the season these go up to 100% eventually, but it takes time. You don't start with 100% part conditions. Whether that will be something that will change when we improve our facilities, I'm guessing it might, but at the moment we're not there. I know that the other teams do struggle with the reliability in this first race too, so it's not just us. We're going to try and push our pit crew a little bit, because obviously these changes, you can see 47 seconds, but obviously if you don't do them, then you're going to put yourself at risk of not finishing the race at all anyway. And obviously the track is drying out, so it's soaked but not as bad as it was, and I think it will dry out, so we're going to go on to the intermediate. To look at Valdez and find out what the situation is with Valdez, because he's still running 9th and Dembele is not too far away, so it looks like we're going to back him up into the pit stops, I reckon. Probably not ideal, but with them being so close and strategy of fuel and tyres, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. So we'll fill him up. Yeah, see, massively down, and then they go up a little bit, but obviously they're still going to wear down after we come out. We'll no doubt have a problem with something else, but hopefully this will be enough to get us through the rest of the race onto intermediates, with a chance of another stop, obviously with it drying out completely and then going on to the drier tyres. So we'll be putting him on a super soft. So yeah, we're both in. Valdez is going to hold up Dembele a hell of a lot, and she's got parts to. So yeah, we've kind of stuffed up Dembele's race completely. I can see that. So I've made a bit of a mistake there. But to be honest with you, again, Valdez is the main focus here. His parts are in better condition anyway, and he's still going to be in a relatively good position, I think, when he comes out of the race, because there are already other people with problems. So we're dropping down the field a little bit, but trust me, by doing this, I'm pretty sure we're going to gain these places back, and we're still actually within the sponsorship target with Valdez. Okay, so we've really hit Dembele. She's going to probably end up coming out last, but we can turn her pace up a little bit, I think. We'll manage Valdez, I think, a little bit more than Dembele though, if I'm honest. I sound like a bad team principal there, don't I? But I'm pretty sure it happens in real life when they sacrifice one driver and go for another. Okay, so yeah, Dembele is not happy, but we'll turn her pace up so she can try and push and gain something back. Let's see what we're doing with Valdez. Track is really drying up now, so we're probably going to have to pit again for different tyres quite soon, but we want to try and stretch this out a little bit more, so we're going to leave it on push at the moment. We're quite far away from the front of the field, so we're not going to be challenging for that. Here we go though, we've got people having problems in 8th though, but he's putting the dry tyre on already, so he's gonna gain that back through getting the dry tyre on, I would imagine. we're going to try and eke it out a little bit more because it says the track's still damp, and we've got the spray coming back from behind the cars. Valda's still running 16th, so not brilliant, but we're still in sponsor objective range, and we're still getting points. So we're down to 8 laps left now. We're not too far behind the car in front of us, so, and there are other cars that are not too far ahead of him as well, so still got places to be gained here. And Belle's still well down, unfortunately. Again, pretty much said that I'm sacrificing her position in this race. So we're up to 15th now with that pit stop. So let's see if we can crack on and move up. But now we've got more problems. So he has 20% on the suspension. Okay, I didn't think we'd have any more problems, but we have. So we're going to have to look at fixing the suspension. And now he wants to change tyres. So we'll do it in conjunction with changing tyres. It's not falling great for us in terms of how quickly we've got to change tyres, but obviously can't be caught on the wrong tyre for too long. We'll bring them Belle in pretty early as well. Put her on the super soft. We've got the tyres, 8 laps remaining. So we'll try and see if we can go conservative and get her to finish the race, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to get her to finish the race on that. 15. A couple of the parts are looking a bit rough. It's almost crashed. Okay, so I wonder if we gain anything from that. We've got a safety car out, so that helps us. That definitely helps us. So we're going to get both cars in now then. 7 laps remaining, so we can finish the race with Valdez, so that works out nicely, but we're going to have to fix the suspension. And what else? We're going to have to fix the engine as well by the looks of it, so it's down to 24%. I'm not going to go down to anything else, but we've got to fix these because we've got to finish the race at the end of the day. We've got to finish the race to be able to score points. I'm not going to fix the gearbox. I think that should last another 7 laps if we manage it. So we're going to go fast again because we want to try and gain some time. Here we go, Dembele. Part condition. She's got quite a few parts. Oh no, not too bad, I guess. But if we're pushing her, they might wear down quicker. I don't really want to lose too much time with her again. So we're going to go balanced on the pit stop and make sure we get that right to not lose any more time. So we're both coming in under the safety car. So Valdez is now up to 14th, so we are gaining positions with Valdez. We're pushing on the driving style, but we've gone a bit conservative with the engine. And obviously we do have issues. From Dembele's had quite a good stop there. Still well down the field for it to... And now Valdez is up to 12, so we're pitting in November. Got tyres on, fuel's in, repairing. Not too bad, so we are pushing at the speed. Just got to fix the engine and then it goes up the gearbox. There's a lot of people with mechanical issues now, so Valdez is back out, we're going to push. Have to go a little bit, yeah, we'll go slower to conserve the fuel because the safety car's out at the moment. Oh, we've actually managed to get Dembele up to 19th now. Okay, so she's actually back in the field and overtaking people, but look at the amount of people with problems now, guys. So I think Tang is actually out, the guy in last place. And then we've got hell of a lot of drivers pitting now for mechanical issues. So even though we've had to pit Valdez for the problems, it is going to pay dividends, I think, and we are going to move it up the field. Look, you can see now 3rd and 2nd now with mechanical issues. So everyone having issues in this race, guys. Even now, we've got a couple of parts that we can dodge it. I've just fixed them. Wow. You see how tough this first race is. I mean, parts for everyone, guys, but I'm just going to manage the car. We can't afford to pit now. We're just going to have to hope that we don't have any terminal issues that stop us finishing the race, because I feel like we pit now, we're going to lose too many places, especially when they've got mechanical problems, so we're going to risk it. Just sitting behind the safety car, so we're not really pushing the parts too hard at the moment. Okay. So she has engine problems. Gonna have to bring her in, fix that. So there we go. Looking at doing the fuel. When we get to the end of the race, we'll put a lap in just to make sure. Oh no, I think we'll lose too much time. Try and get to the finish without putting any more fuel in. Should be able to do it. Okay, so I think Valdez is alright at the moment. We're going to go low. Probably should have done that before on engine mode safe fuel. Don't think fuel's going to be an issue at the moment. 5 laps remaining. 4 after this. The next lap. These guys in second and third I thought would have pitted before now, but they obviously think they can get to the end of the race with whatever issues they've got unless they pit. They must be pitting now. We've got to be super careful we don't push too much, but I mean I feel like we've got to push a little bit and get back round here because there are places to be had. Sure, there are places to be had. Okay, so safety car's in and everyone's pushing now, so we're going to push. Dembele's in to fix the parts, so we've ruined our race, but hopefully we'll be justified through Valdez getting a good result for us. Engine's nearly fixed for Dembele. Still 19th, obviously the song's crashed out. Okay, so Valdez getting overtaken by 13th. God, we've got a really mixed field and people still having problems. Let's just hope that a lot of these guys that are pushing too hard really don't manage their cars well. Now, we've gone down with Valdez. Just looking at the conditions of the parts and seeing if we can manage to get to the end of the race. I think we can. Dembele. Problems galore with Dembele. It's like we might not finish the race with Dembele. But again, like I said, if we manage to get a good result through Valdez, then it won't be too. We've had. Look, oh god, we've got people dropping out now. So Dembele is actually going to gain positions just through people retiring. So we've had 3rd and 5th retire. So where does that put us up to? Valdez is not moving up yet, and we're outside the sponsorship objectives. This is surely all going to change though, because we're going conservative and it's still running. We've got people smoking into the pits. And now we're back into contention. We're moving back up now, guys. Back into 13th now. So in sponsor objective range and moving up the pack, we've just got to really make sure we manage this car now, because we're going to bound to have an issue flare up, but we're just going to the end now, guys. 2 laps left after this one. So Dembele's still running, but I'm not sure how long for. Here we go, look, gearbox problem, 19%. We've got 2 laps left. We can make this, Valdez. We're not pitting because there's too many places to be had here. People have retired gambling too hard, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to gauge is just right. And 10th's in now, and out to 11th, guys. Now 10th. So 10th would be a good position. Now we're up to 9th. Okay, Dembele's in bad sorts, but we know that. But we need to concentrate on Valdez because Valdez is challenging for the top 10. Okay, we're down to 10th, guys. Nice to finish 9th, but we can't push the car any harder than it's going at the moment. And you can see the parts are flashing up. We'll leave it as it is and see what happens, and hopefully we manage to bring it home in 10th. 10th would be not a bad start. I'm going to push on the driving style and just keep an eye on in terms of the part, and if it goes down too quick, we're going to overtake and attack. We'll just keep an eye on these because we've only got one lap left, guys. We need to stay in 10th. Coming around, come on Valdez, keep it in 10th, keep it in 10th. Alright, good, go that down just to conserve the part now because it's like 10th. Look at all our parts, guys, all flashing now. It looks like, guys, we're going to come home in 10th place with Valdez for the first race. So I will take that. Not a bad position. And in the end, Dembele has actually managed to be 15 on the list. So I think she's still classified as a point scorer. So we've actually ended up scoring points for both drivers. Maybe Valdez should have been a bit further ahead if we'd done better strategy with him, because he only actually finished 5 places ahead of. Yeah, he says that's alright, not too shabby at all. Okay, I agree. We'll take the points. We've got a guy going around there still smoking. God knows what he's doing. Okay, so this is one of the race. But okay, guys, not too disappointed with that. Let's see what sort of positions we got in the championship and what points we're on. And this shows you the overall strategy of what we did. So we went from the intermediate and then we went to the soft. So 2 stops, not really that bad, really, to be expected. Most people having 2 or 3 stops. Yeah, not many with 3 stops. Maybe more with the problems, and they ended up retiring anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go into the next screen and see what the standings are like. We've definitely got room for improvement, obviously, on strategy and pit stops. Probably should have been a bit conservative on the fuel, but obviously you have to do everything on the fly. Just making sure the cars, we won't have any risk of that because we didn't strip any weight away. But I'm guessing that's when you have a risk of the rule break. So we've got 10 for the 11 points. That's a good start for us. So you get points for fastest laps of the race. We didn't get the fastest lap of the race. But we've got 6 points for Dembele, which is really good considering she retired. But because she was obviously so far ahead in terms of the time, that's where she's classified. So that's actually really good. It's not good in terms of the parts. So 10th, look at the points difference. We're only 9 to the leader. Obviously it is a deficit still. But look at that, guys. 7th for ZRT Autosport, where I said that maybe 8th or 7th would be a good position to aim for. So we started off in 7th place, so maybe that is where we want to be this season, guys. Go ZRT Autosport. They seem to think that we did pretty well. Yeah. So, not bad, guys. Not bad at all. We're just going to have to go in and sort of have a look and see what the situation is. So, Valdez is actually getting better because he's only 21. So you can see all his stats are actually still improving, guys. Dembele's 33, so we are going to have to look at getting another driver eventually. So our chairman's super happy because expected result was 9th. We've got our sponsorship, which money, yeah, she's happy, but we're making money, so we always need to make sure we're making money for this team. Because the minute that we don't is going to be bad. These are other championships, just shows you how the other people are doing in their championships and ours. And it shows you the upgrade status of our factory. Pit crew, we need to swap out pit crew because we do have someone who's fatigued, and I would imagine they are after all the parts that we've changed in that race. Car condition, okay, so yeah, massive amount of time to fix those, but then we're going to have to work on reliability, which we already are with the brakes. They're saying about our brakes, but we're already working on our brakes, so we can't do that any quicker. So we're just going to say that we took risks and we ended up getting 10th position, so it was worth the risk. It's just telling us about the pit crew. We had 2 pit mistakes, nothing that was particularly dangerous, so that doesn't really worry me a whole lot. If we have the money, then we will look at upgrading the pit crew for sure. So let's just swap this person out because they've got naught on the fixing, I guess, because they're fatigued, and we'll just swap them out for the next best one, which is this person there. That one's done. And what are we going into? We're just going to have a look at everything else. There we go, 7 weeks remaining for our factory, so we'll see what that unlocks when we get it. Don't think we can improve any parts at the moment. Oh, now we've got a sponsor missing. Pretty sure that will come up now. It's missing, and we'll get an offer. So when we forward that on for the next sort of week or so, we should get an offer for the sponsor, and then we'll see what we get offered, and hopefully we can put that straight in. Parts because we've actually got reliability being improved on the brakes, and it's still in progress. I'm going to edit delivery, and it's just telling us that we could actually hire people to replace. Car repair is fine, so that's actually not bad. It's done, and now we have a sponsor. Let's see the sponsor. Okay, upfront payment of nearly 1,800,000 and bonus payment 400,000 of race for 4 races. We will take that, because that'll be nearly $1 million in the bank, and it takes us up to over 2 million, so we're getting our budget back up. Very nice, guys, very, very, very nice. See what now. Finish the repair on both cars, thank you very much. Pit crew, we're not going to hire on it at the moment. Again, you can see that we're improving the brakes in the right hand corner. And that obviously will improve reliability of them. So we are going to move forward race by race, and then hopefully get better results as well. Don't have to worry about the spec parts being improved, but we can improve the reliability of those. So we do need to look at doing that. Okay, so moving through, this would be another week down for the factory. Nothing news-wise really. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for the first race, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and if you look forward to the next race, then please subscribe to my channel. Any suggestions in the comments box. But yeah, not bad for a first race, guys. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace out.